Okay, after what I've seen in the last episode, ain't no way Nulla could get any more attractive. I need to learn to shut up! Welcome to Act 2 of To Eat a God. Today we're going down Nulla's route where he shows us the power of God and anime on our side. Yes, we're still slaying gods and our wife shows up, and he's great, but we slay harder. Also, Nulla has a magical girl transformation and I think that's great. But anyway, here are your content warnings. Now please enjoy yourselves.
It's like kissing a doll. I really want to get out of here and kiss you. And do so much more.
Well, that's a way to start the episode.
Oh God, save you! Nulla staggers slightly and looks you straight in the eye with a complicated expression. Can you wait for me for a bit? Nulla says this after moving away from you. He touches his head as if something were bothering him. Has something happened to you? Sure. No. Has something happened? I need to calibrate my senses. What? I've stripped Quator and Due of their power, and I'm having a hard time keeping my body steady. Nulla staggers slightly as he tries to walk towards the temple door leading to the exit, and you follow him closely. I almost forgot that someone strong enough can claim the title of a symbol. Back when the creator was around, he established a series of rules. Silly ones, but rules nonetheless to keep the god unstable. And he wondered, what would happen if a symbol wasn't doing its job properly? Simple. You just have to replace it. Once again, I'm in for dumping on something that no longer matters. I just can't help it. I really can't stop. Sorry. I want to know more. Really? Yeah. Alright. I want you to understand quickly so that we don't have any misunderstandings later. Anyone can claim the title of a symbol if the world is unpaused, which means symbols can also kill each other, thereby gaining more domains to their power. But since each symbol is tied to a garden concept, that must be kept in optimal condition using its own energy. So none of them have ever thought about killing one another, since it would be much harder to maintain two concepts. Right now, I have the concept of the moon and the stars at my mercy, and I can do whatever I want with them. You don't like what he's implying? Nulla tries to open the temple door, but falls before he can reach the doorknob. And you, seeing how precarious his condition is, run to help him. You bend down and lift him up, and you realize that he is incredibly light. Thank you. You both grab the doorknob and push. The scene outside is completely different from what you've seen before. That place, once bathed in a faint purple light that covered the entire landscape, no longer exists. Now, it's just an empty space, surrounded by black and white. It is now that you realize the consequences of Nulla's mission. Everything will go back to nothing. Everything will be devoured by the void. You look behind you, searching in vain for the moon. There's nothing up there, and now, not even a trace of the Quator temple. And you're sure that all the entities under the command of the symbols of the moon and stars have either vanished or are in the process of doing so. You walk while supporting Nulla, who is still having trouble keeping his balance. But you don't mind. Nulla weighs nothing, and this way, you can be close enough to catch the scent of his cologne. Oh, yes, the scent of nothing. It's pleasant. This will take a while. Eating two domains at once is a difficult task. Are you eating them? Their energy? Yeah. All the energy invested in the creation of each domain, and every entity within them, as well as the memories tied to it. Nulla lets out a hesitant sigh. He doesn't seem too pleased with what he's doing. At least he doesn't take it in a disrespectful way. There's no ill-intentioned remark or hint of laughter. You have to give him credit. You walk together through the empty streets, silence lingering in the air, matching the somber mood of the journey. Nulla has remained quiet and downcast for quite some time. Due was great. A thought crosses your mind. If she was so great, why did you kill her? But you assume this is what he must do to get what he wants, so you keep silent. Haven't seen her in a long time. Out of the corner of your eye, you see Nulla place one of his hands on his head and sob. I'm sorry, Lion. I'm gonna leave you for a moment. And so both of you are swallowed by the portal that carries you into the void. While you're there, Nulla doesn't look at you. He hides his face from your gaze and turns his face away. And that makes you feel sorry for him. When you feel yourself touching the ground, everything happens very quickly. Nulla leaves you in his room and bids you farewell, wishing you sweet dreams. Turns off the lights and closes the room doors. Unaware of what's happening, you sit on the bed, and you wait. You don't know how long you've been sitting on the bed, but you assume it's been a long time as your bones start to ache. You suppose you need to mentally prepare for sleep. But go find Nulla. You can't help it. You want to see what's happening with Nulla. So you get out of bed and head towards the first floor. If Nulla doesn't want you to find him, he won't even let you leave. So when you try to open the door and manage it by simply turning the knob, you know that Nulla is letting you go after him. Or maybe he hasn't realized, which is unlikely. You carefully descend the stairs, afraid of misstepping due to the lack of light in the hallway and consequently on the stairs. When you reach the last step, you hear a crash. You hear something fall and shatter. The sound is very much like glass exploding and crashing onto the floor. Shit! His voice comes from the kitchen. You rush towards the area. And there he is, sitting at the table. He's been drinking. He looks awful. Should have known you've come. After all, the damned option is the only interesting one out of the two you've been given. You place both hands on your hips and look him in the eyes. What's up? Nulla looks away, unwilling to answer. He sighs in short, ragged breaths, as if holding back tears. I didn't think this would be so hard. Killing Dewey has been horrible. More than I thought. I thought, since this had already happened in my past life, it would be easier. I've already killed her there, so what's the difference this time? It's the memories, implanted or not, I have them with me now. I have many memories of her that were released when her domain was consumed. She held me in high esteem. Still, I was the one she trusted the most. And how did I repay her? I killed her. No, I freed her from this hell. I've done her a favor. You sit beside him, and now the scent of alcohol emanating from his body is unmistakable. Nulla places both hands on his face, covering his expression, and starts mumbling words you cannot understand. Nulla's body begins to change shape, with strange lines appearing and disappearing from his figure, making it seem as though his body is losing its original form. His emotional state is at rock bottom. You need to pull him out of it. But no. And now, I have no guidance for absolutely anything. What do you mean? I have documents of what was previously written about my former selves. But the documents I'm following has nothing else. Only blank pages. I don't know how to proceed. I don't know if this will work or not. I don't know if Septum will let me be confined in the void once again or not. For the first time in a long while, I have no idea whatsoever what will happen. And I'm scared. I don't want to waste this opportunity. I don't want to go back there again. At any moment, this world will be abandoned once more. Just as it has always happened with previous worlds. I can't let Raphael continue like this. It's all my fault. You have to intervene before Nulla completely loses control. Take his hand and support him. You truly believe that supporting him is the best option. Saying that everything will be alright doesn't change anything, because if we're honest, you doubt that everything will be alright. I'm here to accompany you. You have all their attention. I must make this separation. My apologies, Lion. But I doubt Nulla will feel at ease if I speak using I. I can't even strip the will from your puppet. Nulla doesn't deign to look you in the eyes, but you feel as if Nulla is squeezing your hand tightly. He neither speaks nor reacts to do anything other than that, until he begins to cry. It's strange to see him like this, but you assume he has been surrounded by so much imposed agony, whether from a higher being or from himself, that it's a reaction any sentient being in a situation would have. You wrap both your hands around his, which now seem so small that they frighten you for a moment. You caress his back and give gentle pats to help release those overwhelming, mixed and intertwined feelings that manifest as tears. All you hear are the sobs of a man desperate for the validation of his own existence. It's torturous, but you have to endure it, because if you don't, you're sure to start crying along with him. I'm pathetic. Comfort him. Don't say that! You tell him everything you know about him, assuring him that he is not a pathetic man. You speak sincerely, each word laced with genuine tenderness. Nulla doesn't respond or argue. He simply listens to you in silence. As you speak, you gently slide your hand over his head, delicately pushing aside the layer of gel to reach his scalp. His hair is soft at the ends, smooth and fine. If only he didn't have gel in his hair. Nulla lets out a sigh, imbued with a sense of longing. And I don't get what he means. You don't recognize that word, so you ask him what he just said. Nulla almost sounds embarrassed and gets up to completely avoid your gaze, as if he were afraid of your reaction. I've remembered an old memory. It's what you say when someone comforts another. When I was a child, I used to say it a lot. When Mom... Nulla stops abruptly, and a laugh escapes his lips. But it's not a joyful laugh. It's a heavy, almost broken one. It means to caress with the heart. It's one of my favorite words. How is it that the more time passes, the more you learn about me, and I can have nothing but the reflection of your eyes? It's not fair. I promised not to get too involved so that our farewell wouldn't be more terrible than it will be. But I at least want to have some of you with me. They say that words are the reflection of the soul. I would like to know your favorite word. You know mine. What's yours? My favorite word. Siam. Nulla doesn't say anything, but he lowers his gaze, and you see him smile slightly, as if he had obtained something so secretly precious that he wouldn't let the world notice what he had gained. Time flies. So quickly that you don't notice Nulla leaving you on the bed, saying goodbye in a hoarse voice, the only trace that he had been crying, since he never lets you see his face. You ponder what happened for a while, and you really think that Nulla's a complicated man. Don't you think so? You close your eyes and sink into the land of dreams. But despite being in the land of dreams and desires, you dream of nothing. First day of extermination completed. You wake up feeling extremely hot, so much so that when you touch your forehead, you're sweating. The atmosphere feels dry and stifling from the heat, like an oven that's preheating. Good morning. I wanted to apologize for yesterday. I know it was weird, and I promise, it won't happen again. I've gotten rid of those memories, so it won't happen again. Nulla smiles, but you don't like the implication of his words. I've been thinking. I believe we should start today's hunt immediately. They're starting to mobilize already. I suppose Una must be guarding Tria and Sextum. Well, wait. What about Septum? He's in his domain. He's an easy target, but he can't die right now. Nulla doesn't elaborate any further. You try to recall who's missing, but you don't remember all the names. We'll go for Kinky, Carino. Kinky. You don't know much about him, which you assume is for the best. That way, it's a bit easier to watch him die before your eyes, you suppose. But first, we need to have breakfast. Nulla accompanies you to the table once you're ready. Everything is served and ready, so eat without fear. There's everything on the table to spread on your bread, so much abundance that it overwhelms you a bit. After finishing, Nulla takes the dishes to the kitchen and starts washing and tidying everything up. You insist on helping him, but he tells you it's not necessary. After you press a bit more, he relents. You help dry the cutlery and plates that Nulla washes, and you think it's good teamwork. Household chores are more fun with you by my side. I'd love to do all this with you for the rest of my life. You try to imagine it, and you're surprised at how easily you can do so. You imagine a simple, everyday life with him, doing routine things, shopping to fill the pantry, going on dates, and who knows what else. And it doesn't look bad at all. It looks and sounds so good that it scares you. Good. Nulla finishes. Oh, that smile! God, he's going to kill me! Nulla finishes washing the last plate and turns to look at you. Time to go get kinky. Now? Can we spend a little more time here? I really prefer that we end this once and for all. Besides, if we finish this quickly, we'll have the whole afternoon to spend together. If you want, I'll take you to a place I really love. And, God, I can't wait for you to see it. Does that sound good for you? He talks as if it was just a formality. Yeah, I'll accept. Alright. Perfect. Nulla takes your hand, caressing it for a moment before plunging into the void with you. Once inside, he hugs you and speaks as if he only wants you to hear him. It's ironic because here, there's nothing but the two of you. I love coming here and looking at you. With the darkness of the void, I can see better what's happening behind that screen. I hope I'm the first to tell you this. You look adorable. You walk through the jungle until you reach a temple hidden among plants and rocks. The temple structure is different from Quator's, as is its size. It's rather small, very small, just the way a god would like it. As you get closer, it seems to be made of some kind of stone. It's limestone. Nulla informs you after reading your internal dialogue. Intruder! And the little scoundrel finds it nothing but amusing. Kinky made this small temple so as to not take up space from his offspring. Babies? Yeah, all the animals you see here are his babies. And they all have names. I still don't understand how Kinky remembers each of them. Adorable. This is the only domain that has been touched by the combined works of two symbols. Tria and Kinky worked together, organizing both domains when the creator was still here. Honestly, it saddens you to hear this. It pains you to hear that these gods will eventually be killed. You think it would be much better not to know anything, making this genocide easier. You don't understand Nulla's purpose in telling you this. Now you are going to pretend you don't read your own thoughts? Ha! Do you want me to explain, Lion? There he is, confirming once again that he knows everything happening in this dialogue box, which is meant exclusively for your eyes. Goddamn rat! Yes, please. I've no problem explaining this to you, mi vida. I just think they deserve to be remembered. I wouldn't do them justice if I wiped them out without at least trying to have them remembered for something. To make their lives have some sort of impact out there, in your realm. And having them remain in your memory is a good way to achieve that. You're a bit surprised by his words. They sound sincere, very considerate of the situation. But I don't want you to get too attached to them, just enough to pay them one last favor. Besides, it serves as fuel for the show I want to put on for you. You take back what you said! You're about to enter the temple when you take a misstep. Your feet steps on a towel that sinks, triggering a mechanism that swallows you in the process. Nulla isn't fast enough to catch you! As you fall, you see something red charge at him, preventing him from pursuing you. You're in this alone, and you're scared! Don't worry. I'll be there as soon as I can. Upon landing, there's no sign of a hard impact, as some hands catch you and gently set you down. Please, be careful. This place is spacious. There's nothing here. It's a large room enclosed by 4 walls with no windows or doors. You're trapped until further notice. You walk along the entire perimeter, searching for any sign of an exit or hiding place because you're far too exposed here. You're an easy target. If the figure that attacked Nulla finds you, you're doomed. And the heat only intensifies. It's a suffocating heat that only ramps up your panic. So, it's you. You turn your head to see who just spoke. A blue-haired man watches you with a bored expression from the far corner of the room. That must be Kinky. The creator's replacement.
What? You're not anyone's replacement.
I thought you'd have a more imposing appearance. Disappointing.
Hey! You call him out. He may be a god, but you won't let him speak to you like that. Whoa, okay, that is enough. That is danger smiling right at me.
What did Nulla say that makes you do this? Or is this your idea, and did you promise Nulla to let him live if he helped you? You don't understand what he's saying, but you don't feel like tempting fate by angering him. So you just stare at him as he asks his rhetorical questions. But that only made him angrier. Do you think the work of the creator and Septum isn't worthy? Do you want to wipe everything clean and start over? You disgust me.
Rude!
Entities like you and Nulla shouldn't exist. Ugh. Too bad Septum wants you alive. Try and talk. You need to buy yourself some time by any means, since you can't defend yourself or fight against this god. What do you want from me? You figured that making him talk about his evil plan might buy you some time. It works in the movies. Maybe it'll work here. Kinky looks at you with a skull. Do you think I'm an idiot? I'm not going to waste my time on this.
Kinky takes an attacking stance.
I promise, I won't hurt you. So stay still.
Hot!
What are we doing on the ground, Kinky? Oh no, you kind of got me pinned down here. Oh no. When you see Kinky lunge towards you in one bound, it's already too late. Your feet don't respond in time. You're frozen in place with no real option to move. Oh no, I am so helpless, Kinky. Seeing his fangs dangerously close to your field of vision, you raise your arms between yourself and Kinky in a pathetic attempt to form a shield. And you close your eyes in fear of what might happen. Don't let the puppet close its eyes, mi vida.
Oh, it's Nulla!
Both of you fall to the ground, Nulla in a different form and Kinky looking utterly horrified. He looks terrified.
Due?
What's wrong, dear? Even Nulla's voice has changed. It now resembles the harsh tone of the entity he killed in the Quator Temple. Due. Nulla is in Due's body. Nulla's words prompt Kinky to react. He gives Nulla a light shove and jumps back.
You're sick!
He shouts, gritting his teeth. He tries to appear angry, but his face betrays his terror. He's scared.
What the hell do you think you're doing? You have no dignity!
Then he searches for you with his gaze.
Can't you see it? You're helping a sicko! This world can still be saved. Please.
He shouts at you now, pleading. I ignore it.
Don't just stand there staring like an idiot. Do something. Stop him.
Being with your power can... Nulla gestures, and a hand-shaped shadow emerges from the ground, grabbing Kinky by the arm and hurling him against the wall. Nulla laughs briefly before shouting back.
Come on! Don't just stand there barking like a dog! Do something!
The white-haired one mocks.
Drop dead!
Kinky assumes a defensive stance, yet does nothing to confront and attack Nulla. I get it now. You're scared. He lets out a small laugh.
I love knowing that you can't do anything about it.
But come on, at least give me some content. Is this really Nulla? No, he's not like that, right? You're not going to lie. You find it hard to understand the change in attitude he's displaying. Don't say anything. You don't think it's necessary to restrict Nulla's actions. After all, none of this matters. He's just another character, decorating the scene, without much backstory. Nulla summons his hands once more, seizing Kinky by all his limbs. The claws of his hands punch holes in the symbol's skin, and a blood-like liquid oozes from his wounds. Kinky hisses, making Nulla laugh once more. Nulla materializes next to Kinky, who remains on the floor, pressed against the wall.
I'm not going to give you the pleasure! If you want to fight, do it with your own face! Coward!
Nulla looks at him for a second before whispering something in his ear. His expression changes immediately. Kinky frowns and grits his teeth. This time, he reacts with an attack, slapping him with a sound that echoes through the room. Why are you doing this to me? Shut up, you damn scum without dignity! You are still just as irritable. I'm not going to let you go until you give me a fight worthy of my lion. Once again, the hands manipulate Kinky as if he were a ragdoll, hurling him against another wall. He crashes into the wall and falls to the ground like a sack of potatoes. Face up! Not his sack! Not his sack! Right where there seems to be a patch of light. Kinky looks up. Unum! He shouts, calling for help from the sun. Get out of here! It's not a cry for help. He shouts at Unum to avoid the fate he's headed for. There's no point fighting with this imposter by his side. One of the many hands pierces Kinky's chest, extracting the essence from his body. This is no longer fun. And Kinky falls to the ground, motionless, slowly disintegrating. Nulla returns to your side and offers you the essence. Lion, don't eat it just yet. Obey him. Behind Nulla, you can see and hear the wall shatter into pieces. A familiar figure appears behind the dust of the pulverized stones. Oh, wait, it's Unum, and where are your damn clothes, Unum? But he looks terrifying. Nulla watches him for a moment before turning back to you. Unum runs towards you, materializing whips in his hands. Hold it. You quickly grab the essence, pressing it against your chest as if it were a treasure. And you're glad you did in time because Nulla grabs you by the waist and pulls you into the void with him. Listen, we have to get rid of him now, or else the heat will melt the puppet by tomorrow. What? But the deal says so. I don't want to. What? Unum has used up all his fuel, and soon he'll release that energy in an explosion. He'll kill every creature made of flesh and bone, including your puppet. Nulla clings to your body, carefully removing your hands that act as a barrier between you and him, and places his head on your chest as he looks at you. Please. But you can't help but think that this is strange, because he has the image of a dead god. Oh, I forgot about that. The Nulla just forms back into himself. He's so pretty like this. Oh my god! Or rather, the feminine version. How many people asked for this? And to all the people who asked for this, thank you. Better? Yeah. God, yes. Nulla only smiles contentedly at your response, and you swear you can see hearts in his eyes. Now, this is all that's left to get home. I promise you. We can cook or read a book from the library, if you like. But I'd rather take you to that place I told you about this morning. Although, we could do everything if time persists. Nulla changes his form once more, reverting to the original, as if playing to win your approval. You hate to admit it, but you just can't argue with him. Whether you like it or not, you'll end up doing whatever this man asks. Anything he asks! And he knows it. You know that with his sugary words and that face, he can mold you however he wants. All right. Nulla smiles. Is that all you're gonna say? What else does he want? All right, mi amor. Who's responsible for giving this lunatic so much power? Handsome, powerful, beautiful, gorgeous. Make it stop! Nulla laughs. Thank you for being my confidant, mi vida. All right, time to finish this. Before re-entering Kinky's domain, Nulla changes form without warning. You're nearly knocked back by surprise. This will speed things up. After a long sigh, Nulla pulls you out of the void. The same place as before, but you don't see Unum. You search for it with your eyes, just as Nulla does, but it's impossible due to the strange glare in the area, a glare that devours every object and renders it impossible to discern, until a foreign body crashes directly into you. You feel something wrap around your neck and yank you from Nulla's arms. The glare softens, letting you see what's happening. You suspect it's a tactic used by Unum to blind his opponent. You collapse to the ground, and Nulla ends up beneath the feet of the sun's symbol. Close your... Ah! You can't fulfill the request, as Unum quickly cuts off his arms and legs, preventing him from moving. And with his other whip, he grabs Nulla's neck to haul him up. Either you remove Eliana from your body, or I'll kill this thing right here and now. God is hot! Septim's plan no longer makes sense without any stars by my side, so I won't mind killing them. Nulla can only look at you in helplessness. Nulla gives in to Unum and begins peeling away Eliana's skin to reveal his true face. Satisfied with that, Unum pulls at a collar that has formed around your neck and draws you towards them. He does the same with Nulla, but immobilizes him with his arm. You know what's interesting about this guy? He looks at you with a questioning smile. You mean the fact that I impregnated you and had soul babies? You don't have the courage to answer. Not that you could, as the collar is slowly suffocating you. He's not easy to kill. To do it, you need two things: the creator or substitute, and a lot of time to reach his original lair. And this is perfect, because I have both right here. Septim told me about it before coming here, and I'm going to enjoy it so much. I'm going to cut off that head as many times as necessary. I'll use my own hands, so your flesh tears slowly. Unum fixes his eyes on you once more. And I'll make you see everything. Everything! Everything! I'll cut your eyelids off if I have to. You don't want to lose your eyelids. And you don't want anything bad to happen to Nulla either. Damn it! You wonder why Nulla can't do anything now. Why doesn't he summon his shadows again? It's time to do it. Wait. Every time he does it, he makes a subtle movement with his hands. He can't do anything to prevent his death without his hands. God! Unum grabs Nulla's hair and starts pulling forcefully, his neck beginning to tear slowly. So slowly that you can see in slow motion as tiny droplets emerge and fall from the fresh wound on his skin. Oh, I'm sorry, my child. I won't let this happen. I think it's time to intervene. Nulla stands no chance against my dear Unum. What? A hand materializes behind the redhead and severs his head before he has the time to process what's happening. Mother? Mother? All this time, it's the voice that's been speaking to us, Mother. Nulla, Lion, I know you're reading this. You need to pay close attention, because I won't interrupt again. I don't enjoy killing my children. See you later. The hand extracts the essence and offers it to you before vanishing. You nearly drop it as you grasp it with your free hand, and it's very hot. You look at both essences and you realize something. Kinky's essence is forming a strange hard layer around it, like a shell. Can you look at me? Please. As you do, Nulla begins to regenerate his arms and legs, and even his clothes do too. Although his skin doesn't regenerate, just like last time. First it's smoke, then something more tangible than smoke, and finally, a layer of skin. It's strange. I think it's becoming a habit for me to cut off parts of my body. If my pain receptors still work properly, it would be horrible. Have they stopped working? That's right. My outer layers don't feel much pain anymore. Well, the inner layers feel pain like any average humans. Alright, enough chatter. You have to eat at me more. Otherwise, they'll regenerate again. And we don't want that, right? Oh no, of course not. Anyway, time to eat. Nulla touches Kinky's essence and breaks its exterior, as if it were an eggshell. Slowly, with his hand over yours, he brings both essences together and fuses them into one. The resulting essence is larger and doesn't blend as homogeneously as the previous ones. In this one, you can clearly see which parts belong to Unum and which to Kinky, as if they didn't want to be together. You wonder why some merge and others don't. Could it be compatibility? You look at Nulla, and he watches you silently. It seems he wants to speak or explain something, but for some reason, he doesn't. With a bit of care, Nulla guides your hands towards your mouth. Can you help me walk after you swallow the essence? Sure, I'll hold you. Thank you, mi vida. Every time the puppet's body absorbs the essence of a symbol, my body absorbs its powers. Everything that enters his body will enter mine. Everything that is taken from his body will come out of mine. As long as you, Lion, watch and confirm everything that happens. What I mean is, your puppet is mine, just as much as it is yours. Why do you think I can talk to you like this? We're connected, in both soul and body. That's what lets us bond with each other. Too bad it's only the puppet and not you. Just as you're about to reply, Nulla pushes your hands to your mouth, forcing you to swallow the essence in one gulp. You almost regurgitate what's coursing through your throat. But you hold it in and force your eyes to close tightly while hunching over, fearing you'll vomit if you stay upright. There. Breathe. You're doing well, my carino. Nulla strokes your back, drawing small circles with his palm as a form of comfort. All right, you shouldn't feel so bad anymore. I've transferred all that power to myself. But I'm gonna need you to hold me now. I think I'm gonna fall. The effect of their words seemed like a command you cannot help but obey. You straighten up and place your hand on Nulla's waist to stabilize their body with the help of yours. As if handling butterfly wings, you gently maneuver their body as you help Nulla stand and walk. You look at Nulla to make sure everything is alright. He smiles at you, showing all his teeth. No sooner have you taken about 6 steps that you notice a change in the atmosphere. Gradually, the place begins to disintegrate. Black particles devour the space, leaving a trail of pure white in their wake. The process is faster than you imagined. Nulla leans on you so much that he ends up dragging his feet. You stop to ask if you need to keep walking. We have to walk a bit further, until we've consumed most of this domain. If I stop, I think I'll explode. You dare not ask. You and Nulla walk slowly, while little by little, the black fades away to make room for pure white. All is silent. You assume it must be because Nulla is busy consuming what remains of the domain of Unum and Kinky. Ready. We're ready. That is enough as a warning to pull you into the void. This time, Nulla looks at you warily, but smiling. He doesn't seem affected like before. Don't worry about that. I already told you. No more whining from now on. The silence that ensues is heavy, and you have nothing more to say. So you simply look him in the eyes. He smiles just a little more. I'd stay here for the rest of the day, but I promise to spend the day at home. You reappear in Nulla's domain, recognizable by its sketch-like nature, yet it's a place you do not recognize. It's an isolated place, where wherever you look, a black river surrounds it. The only thing that has color here is the sea of flowers on the ground, painted in a vibrant, warm yellow. They all appear to be of the same kind, yet you cannot identify their type or name. What flower is this? I don't know. Nulla starts walking through the field of flowers, caring little if he steps or crushes them in the process. And indeed, with each step he takes, the flowers are crushed. He doesn't watch his feet. His eyes are fixed on what's ahead, with a clear purpose, oblivious to where he steps or the consequences of his actions. Yellow is my favorite color. She loved yellow flowers, and we had quite a few in our garden. I took care of them, but she never told me what they were called. No matter how many times I described her appearance to Mother, we never managed to recreate the flowers I once had with Mary. Mary? My sister. We were created at the same time, and in one of the creator's many discarded ideas, we became siblings. We're siblings. Nulla lowers his gaze, and that's when he realizes what he's done. As if his eyes couldn't believe it, he lifts a foot to confirm the obvious. He has crushed all the flowers in his path. Oh, I forgot that with your eyes, this could happen. He doesn't say anything more. You look at one of the many flowers that Nulla has crushed. The atmosphere has grown heavy, more than you can bear without feeling a strange pressure in your chest. Something inside you aches, but it's not because of anything of your own. It's because of Nulla. Nulla. You hear a voice that resonates throughout the place, very similar to Septim's voice at the hotel. Something distorted and omnipresent, originating from all points in space at once. It makes you a little dizzy. Hi, Mother! Behind Nulla, a figure materializes. It's Mother, as glorious as the last time you saw her. Nulla, we need to talk. Is it really necessary to do it now? If not now, perhaps you'll continue making mistakes. Mother wears an expression of disapproval before continuing in the silence of Nulla. I shouldn't have to explain myself, dear Neo. Wah! The last thing you see is Nulla's figure trembling and breaking apart, transforming into something monstrous. Your body does the same. It doesn't hurt, but you feel as though your face, along with your arms and legs, are breaking apart. You collapse to the ground and let yourself be heard. You cease to see. You cease to feel. And the fact what? Okay, so I've looked through most of the other interactions off screen. Apparently the one that really changes things would be to ask him to get out of there. You can check out some of the other interactions if you want. He's just not going to let you get a bad end on his route. So this is something I do want to check out. So let's get him out of there. You don't like seeing him in such a deplorable state. So you'll drag him out of that state by force! You get close enough to grab his tie and pull it forcefully towards you, and I kiss him! I smooch him! I pepper his face with all the smoochies! His eyes finally focus completely on yours. Now you have his full attention. Whining isn't going to solve anything, and certainly not by drowning your sorrows in alcohol. If you want to talk about how you feel, I'm here. But this one-sided talk will only sink you further into the hole you've dug with your own hands. You little runt! You pause before continuing. I'm sorry, Lion. I couldn't hold it in. Nulla looks at you as if he couldn't believe what's happening. A faint smile begins to form on his face, only to be quickly replaced by a forced laugh. Even you didn't expect a dialogue, Lion. To be honest, well, I appreciate the intent behind it, thinking that was the option. There's one thing you must understand. You're over there, Lion, behind the eyes of the puppet. I don't have you here. All I have by my side is the puppet, which seems unwilling to accept the stripping away of its will. How lovely. I have to admit, this really made my night. Nulla gently removes your hands from him. No more whining. I promise. After that, everything becomes awkward. Nulla shows no interest in talking, so you both say goodbye to go to sleep, apologizing that you're tired. Both of you climb the stairs, and Nulla leaves you in bed, wishing you a good night. You close your eyes and sink into the land of dreams, and... Okay, so how do we get the alternate route? Okay, so we're gonna try going down Nulla's new route, and for this, in Act 1, when he's asking us to actually accept his deal, we're supposed to say no, okay? We've already gone through all this before. We're gonna say no again, and he's gonna delete all our saves. He's gonna delete everything, okay? Accept the date. Looks relaxing, whatever. We've already seen this in the last video. And instead of following Nulla, we're gonna go to the shadow. Curiously, you let go of Nulla's hand and head towards where the shadow is. Hey! When you arrive at that place, the shadow vanishes with a distorted laugh between two tones, one feminine and one masculine. A shiver runs down your spine. By the time Nulla reaches your side, he takes you by the shoulders. It's dangerous for you to wander off. If you get lost here, it won't be easy for me to find you. No. Nulla! The same voice reappears, and Nulla tenses up instantly. A figure, as white as snow, forms behind the dark-haired one, remaining still, watching the two of you without making a single movement, as if it were just an image. Nulla tries to lunge towards you, but two hands materialize to stop him. And as if his body were nothing but a rag, both hands tear his arms apart effortlessly. You scream his name. You're terrified, but even so, you won't let something worse happen to Nulla, so you try to grab his body and keep him from suffering more damage. It's nothing. Calm down. Nulla won't die from this. I just put him out of commission. You're nothing without your arms and hands, worm. The figure slowly approaches you, taking more time than necessary. You have to get out of the game! Shut your mouth. Just by having said that, Nulla forcibly shuts his mouth, as if something invisible was pressing his jaw against his skull. You look prettier when you're quiet, Nulla. When the figure reaches you, you realize how tall and enormous it is. It's at least 3 heads above you. Moreover, its aura is unsettling, evoking feelings of rejection and repulsion. You must be... That is still not my name. You must be Lion. Is that your real name? Too bad. I have no way to verify that information. So, how's it been going for you? Oh god, I love how casual he is. Do you like this world? Do you like this show? I mean, yeah, but leave Nulla alone! Tell me, would you like to travel to the past? Back when Nulla wasn't like this. I still want you to leave him alone! I won't do anything to him. Have fun for a while. Don't take this so seriously, you party pooper. Anyway, I'll do as I please. You have no control over this world. The figure brings its extra hands to your forehead and touches you gently. From now on, you'll have my eyes, omnipotent in time, in space. From now on, you'll have my eyes, omnipotent in time and space. You're going to lose the ability to interact with your surroundings for a while. At least, until I've reached my old magnum opus. After that, everything turns black. Mise en scene. When Septum was created, I had a conversation with Nulla, who agreed to stay in my garden on the condition that I never abandoned the world. He wanted to have a peaceful life, for once. Anyway, at that time, Septum didn't have a physical body, because I wasn't in the mood to give him one. Besides, I wanted to see if we would do something about it or not. His longing for a physical body was obvious, and it was even more apparent when he saw the symbols interacting with their domains and others. Sextum, being so human and full of emotions, noticed it, and unbelievably, so did Nulla. So they both got together to chat in search of solutions. I think we can use humans, but not my humans. Why not? I love Septum, but I'm not going to sacrifice one of my children. They all have souls already. You told us you can move between worlds. Are there humans in those worlds? Maybe. Most worlds are usually empty. Oh. But I can try. You're the best, Nulla! Sextum gives Nulla a warm hug, and they schedule another meeting in 7 days. Nulla leaves Sextum's domain to return to the void. The faster he completes this search, the sooner he can retire and stop being Septum's spokesperson in the domain from 0 to 6. So after lunch, he steps out of his house and into the void. He contemplates it before letting himself fall in. There, in the purest void of the garden, he discovered the sentence I had given Grimmel. So it didn't matter what he found next. He already had a clear purpose, to confront me after finding a body for Septum. The worlds he visited were a joke. Some were so small that he couldn't take a single step or breathe deeply without hitting their limits. Others were gloomier, filled with details but completely uninhabited. The rest were just sketches. Nothing was useful. Until by sheer chance, through flaw, a small leak of light, or poorly drawn line, he arrived at my former magnum opus. My lord! Do you think you can come to see the inauguration banquet? Now you're in my body, but I'll let you interact with my guardians. I'll do what your puppet does. It'll be fun. You focus your presence on the world where they are calling you.
Who?
And you open your eyes. My lord. Michael? Michael smiles upon hearing your voice. You feel your body shifting. The process is odd, but doesn't hurt at all. Only causes discomfort. When the transformation is complete, you realize that you're now in your original form, the one of your puppet. Michael watches you in awe. Ah, I see. We have our first visitor. Our Lord has spoken to us about you. He said you will arrive sometime today. It's a pleasure to have your presence in our world. Give me your hand. Yeah, sure. Michael smiles again at your action. You walk side by side, and you can't help but look at his wings when you feel them around your body, as if shielding you from the sun. Even though they don't touch you, a warmth and comforting calm radiates towards you. Our Lord has said that you might want to spend some time with Raphael. Do you know him? I think so. Don't worry, Raphael doesn't bite. You reach a table full of fruits, but that's not what catches your attention. No, what captures your gaze are 3 pairs of wings surrounding your vision, block out all the light the sky has to offer. Brother! How about we have a match? Zachiel told me you have a day off today. Oh? Raphael locks eyes with you as he lowers his rapier. Did you bring a prototype to the banquet? Michael's wings withdraw from around you, so Raphael can take a closer look. He places his hands on your cheeks and massages them, unable to believe what he's seeing. Can we touch? You're only asking after you start squeezing my cheeks? Our Lord has brought him for the world's inauguration. I suppose he wants us to interact with one before inaugurating the world. It could be. There's still time until the banquet. What do you plan to do with the human in the meantime? The Lord has given me no instructions. I can take care of them while you rest, Michael. I'm leaving. I have things to do. You assume Zadkiel has no interest in looking after you. What do you say? Michael turns to you with a serene smile, radiating calm at all times. Do you want to go with Raphael? Oh, no. Wait, where did all this come from? I'm gonna save here. Yeah, sure. Okay, I need you here by dusk. Don't take too long. I don't want the Lord to have to wait for you. Understood. Raphael takes you to a nearby hill, from where you can see the entire area. It's a floating island, surrounded by clouds. The scenery is beautiful. Raphael inquires about your physiology, and with each question, 2 more seems to arise. He's curious and doesn't hesitate in showing it. The more questions he asks, the more you feel compelled to ask your own, and his wings, which appear softer than they seem, don't help. Oh, well, you can touch my wings if you wish. Raphael noticed your desires, so you agree, a bit embarrassed at being caught. The rest of the day is spent in trivial conversation, and you realize that Raphael is a very emotional and sensitive being. When night falls, the meeting place is empty. It's just you, Raphael, and Michael. There's no sign of anyone else. Minutes pass, maybe 15 or so, until a distant crash shatters the silence. Michael immediately lifts his head, alert. His wings spread quickly, and his rapier materializes in his hand. Raphael, go fetch the others. He looks at you with concern before speaking. You stay here. This is a safe zone. You obey without protest, at least for a while. But when you feel they've taken too long, unease gnaws at you and compels you to move. You decide to go in search of one of the guardians. You move forward slowly until something catches your attention. The void? There are traces of the void in this place. Nulla is nearby. Without hesitation, you run, following the particles suspended in the air, as if they were a trail inviting you to find Nulla. And then you see him. Nulla, with one leg resting on an immobile body, his gaze fixed on it, as if waiting for a reaction, as if he were ready to attack again at the slightest movement in the already mutilated body. You shout his name so forcefully that you feel your own throat might be damaged. The sound of his name is enough to draw the gaze of the void owner upon you. Your legs act automatically. You run towards him with your arms nearly outstretched, ready to embrace him. However, Nulla sinks into the darkness and reappears before you, emerging from the ground. What? There's no time to process it. Suddenly you're on the ground, a sharp pain piercing your jaw and chest. Nulla is on top of you. His hands squeeze your neck tightly as he screams. You try to explain that it's you, but it's futile. He doesn't listen. What you see now are my memories. You son of a bitch! You scum of the earth! You keep doing the same thing over and over again! You're never satisfied with anything. You don't take anything seriously. You toy with the lives of those you create. But you're nothing. Just a pathetic representation. A puppet. The boss's lapdog. You are nothing more than a fictional character on the upper plane. And that pisses you off, doesn't it? Nulla grabs your hands and begins to pull them forcefully. Then slowly wrenching your arms aside. It hurts. But you can't do anything. Not even cry. Because this body is not yours. I'm going to drag you into limbo with me. So that you feel what you do to your creations. You've even imprisoned Mother. I'm not going to kill you. I won't let you rest. You are nothing without your arms that help you make your shitty creations. You won't be able to escape. Nulla is tearing off your other arm when a large, dark body collides with him. It's a winged monster that bites off Nulla's arm, and as if making him pay for what he has done to you, tries to tear it off, but Nulla is faster and grabs one of the wings on the creature's head, mercilessly yanking it until it rips away. Are you really going to kill him? Nulla looks at you in disbelief, as if sensing that something is not right. Your body moves on its own. With your remaining arm, you gesture, summoning 3 pairs of hands around you. One of them pierces the creature's body, extracting something from its chest, what appears to be its heart, while the other tears off its wings. After that, your body vanishes. You can use your friend's body, so that Septum uses it and heals it. Otherwise, it will die. The creature's body suddenly collapses to the ground, as if losing consciousness, and begins to change its shape. It was Raphael. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little interlude. Think of it as a deleted scene that Nulla wouldn't want to show you. Nothing more to add. See you later. Enjoy your day. What the hell? Both of you return to the alley. The sounds of birds and people walking confirm it to you. There's no trace of the creator, and Nulla cannot hold your gaze when you try to look at him. He chooses to look at the ground. Everything turns black. Nulla, everything will be alright. Hug him. Nulla. I'm sorry, mi vida. Forgive me. Please. I think I need some time alone. I love you. Please. I had no idea that... No. I can't do it while you're watching me. I'll write it for you somewhere else. Please. Don't be scared. Please. Accept the message. I'll accept it. See you. Well, it actually opens up like a different window, and like that's heckin' cool. I'll show it to y'all in a moment. And the game crashes. Yeah, yeet. Before we end things, though, I do want to check out Michael's story, so I'm just gonna check that out for a moment. Okay. Raphael, go train for now. I'll join you in a bit. Yes, sir. Michael takes you to the lake, and as he watches the water ripple, he tells you about his days. His voice is serene, calm, and has a mesmerizing effect on you. It makes you want to keep listening, until Michael falls silent for a long moment. You're from another world, aren't you? I'm gonna tell the truth. Upon confirming his suspicion, Michael loses his smile, replacing it with an expression of disappointment. I see. The rest of the day is spent in trivial conversation, and you realize that Michael's company brings you great tranquility.
Oh, it is legit just that.
Well, we might as well read the text file then.
So the game actually creates two files, one in Spanish and one in English. I'm gonna read the one in English for now.
I hope you don't hate me for what I did to you. Now I understand. You saw it all, didn't you? You have seen everything through the eyes of the Creator, and you had to read that. I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking clearly. I wish I could do something to make it up for you. If this upset you, if I disappointed you, please, don't leave me alone. Please, don't abandon me. Please, don't forget me.
Anyway, that was Act 2 of Nulla's round. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys do want to play this for yourselves, link to the game will be in the description below. And I can't wait for Act 3 to drop. Like, God, Act 2, like, left us on so many emotions, depending on which route you went down. And I am so excited to see how they're going to be ending this game. Like, I am kind of sad that it's ending, but at the same time, like, I'm just so excited. And like, we will be getting like Raphael's route like when Act 3 drops apparently, so like definitely looking forward to that. But in the meantime, hey, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all have a lovely rest of the day, and as always, I'll be seeing you in the next video. This is Lion signing off. Ciao.